Hey, Duke. What's going on? Okay. Let me drink my coffee. Okay, I know. What? Oops. Okay, you're good. Okay, there. Duke wants to say hi, that's why. Okay. What are you looking at? Who's here? Anyone here? There we go. We'll wait till everybody comes online. What? Hey, be nice. Okay, you're good. Happy Sunday to everyone. I hope you guys are doing good. Finally, we got some nice sunny day. So we got a lot of work to do today. But wonderful backyard. My dog Carl is twisting his head listening to your dog bark. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I am in an off-grid location. That's where I'm at right now. Yesterday we actually got about 2 coyotes about 1 o'clock in the morning. So it was very brutal. We couldn't sleep. They kept going at it for almost like a good hour. And Duke was up from like 1 to 3. Right, Duke? Here, come up here. What kind of dog do you have? Okay, relax. You did a good job. Okay. Did you go check on the chicken? Go check on the chickens. See if we got any eggs. Maybe we got one egg. Good morning, brother. Hey, Rooster, how are you? I hope you're doing good. Cheers, we're drinking some coffee right now. Shepherd Mastiff cross, 2 years in October. Oh, nice, that's awesome. Big dog. Yeah, Duke is 3 years old now. he's roughly about, I'd say about, I think when I checked him about 2 months ago, is about 95 pounds. Gio, hey, how are you? Good to see you on here. You're getting quite fit. I saw your profile on Facebook the other day. Keep at it, buddy. Yeah, Duke is about 3 years old, about 95 pounds. He's a big boy. He's fasting. He was fasting the other day. We did how long did we do it? Full 24 hours, right, Duke? Was it good? Carl's only 88 pounds so far. Oh, that's awesome. 88 pounds. That's a good weight. That's a good weight. Especially if you're feeding raw food. So Duke gets about 1 pound of meat every day with about 4 eggs and a piece of liver. I've ordered some liver and some beef hearts, so they'll be here next week, which is awesome. And lots of taurine. I don't know if you give your dog any taurine as well too, because they need it for their heart. Yo, thanks, brother. Sounds good. Yeah, Gio, you're looking in pretty good shape, man. You're hopefully you're following a good diet as well too. Yeah, we've had we've had quite a bit of rain for the past couple of days, but right now it's been sunny. So hopefully it's like this for the next 2 3 days. I still have to finish the water, and I'll be good to go. I thought you were talking about my Facebook profile, Maurice. Well, you're next. I don't think I've been on your Facebook profile. Have to kick these pre-workouts. My chest been bugging, but other than that, all meat, perfect. All meat diet. Carnivore is the way to do it. So far, it's 11 years for me non-stop, which is really really good. And I know I did do put a major video post the other day in regards to familial hypercholesterolemia, because I had a lot of people asking about that, because a lot of individuals, when they tend to do the carnivore diet, they tend to see cholesterol goes up, but it's not so much about the cholesterol that we need to worry. It's whether your LDL is recycling correctly, or it's clearing correctly. So it's all based on your LDL receptors, whether you have that gene or not. And some, even if you don't have the gene, we end up messing that receptors, because due to our diets being high in carbohydrates back in the days, or overconsumption of carbohydrates. Like a lot of bodybuilders, they still till today eat a lot of almost 6 meals a day, which is insane. So you can't really fix LDL receptors. It depends how damaged they are. You can partially fix them, but you do need some supplementation. Do you have any ice cream when you and Duke visited you? No, I haven't. No ice cream, nothing. I haven't. When the family came here, I stuck to my diet. Didn't even cheat. Didn't do anything outside. Still on the same carnivore diet, and I'm never gonna change anymore. I even, I was doing a carb load once in a while. I stopped doing that even. So I've been doing a new lifestyle right now, new diet, because I was doing fasting about 48 hours every single week, and sometimes 72 hours, and that was actually causing more, was actually hurting me more than actually benefiting me. I have 1500 calcium score. What is the first thing I should do? David, the first thing I would do is it's all about blood flow. Blood flow is your most important thing. And what I mean by that is we need to vasodilate your arteries so we prevent further damage until you actually fix the root cause. And the root cause is going to be looking at your LDL receptors, looking at your LDL clearance, and looking at your lifestyle. Because even thought you might be following a good diet, I don't know what kind of diet you're following, we want to make sure we're not actually progressing, we're actually regressing. And the way we can do that, we'll have to look at specific LDL receptors, make sure they are actually functioning correctly. So the first step, even 1500 calcium score, I kind of don't like the CT score. I rather you get the CCTA score, where it gives you soft plaque and calcifications, and it tells us which artery has issues. Like, is it your RCA? Is it your widowmaker? So this way, at least we know where to start, what are the numbers we're starting with, and how much regression we're doing, or at least we stop the progression for the first year. After we do that, then we have a specific protocol. Whether that protocol is gonna be a combination of neurokinase, berberine, bergamot, vitamin K2 is gonna be maybe cyclodextrin, so that we can start to see reversal. So David, probably to kind of give you a better answer, if you do wanna book a time with me, we can actually talk about all the stuff, and we can actually have a specific program. It doesn't mean if you go ketogenic or go carnivore or do intermittent fasting is gonna actually benefit you. I gotta make sure whether you fall in that category or not. Then we can tighten up everything so it fits in your lifestyle. So you're not doing thinking you're doing the right thing, but you could be causing more harm to your body. Yeah, so now I have to kick the pre-workout. I don't know what time I'm training. For a little chest congestion, any other supplementation along with NAC, vitamin A, vitamin A, NAC. I would actually do. What else works really good? I'm just trying to think. You got me thinking because I slept late last night and I haven't really had a good sleep because we've been having coyotes. I wasn't supposed to drink coffee because I was supposed to be fasting because even MCT breaks your fast, and that's one thing nobody talks about. So that actually will halt your LDL clearance. But I need my brain to function because I slept so freaking late from the coyotes. NAC, but I would do like a heavy load of NAC and vitamin A usually. I'm just trying to think what else you can do. Probably what's that? There's a berry you can do. What is it called? Shoot. Damn, I have it growing in my yard here and I can't even remember the name of it. I should go check the name on it. What is it called? Oh yeah, you can use NEC and elderberry. Elderberry is really, really good. Hey Dali, how are you? So you're doing short fasting, right? Only 24 hours instead of 2 days. It was hurting your heart or other symptoms. Yeah, it was hurting my heart. So what happened is when we do fasting, we tend to see that your LDL levels goes up, which is normal. But the problem is when you do long-term fasting, if you have FH, which is I do, and if you have the ApoB and the LP small a genetic, your LDL increases, but it's not clearing fast enough from your system. And if it's not clearing fast enough from your system, it's actually causing toxic issues or getting oxidized. So what happened is an average person will recycle LDL receptors every 20 to 30 minutes. An average person will recycle, will actually cause LDL clearance every 2 to 4 days. A person with FH will actually recycle every 5+ days. And imagine if you're doing the 48-hour fasting or a 72-hour fasting weekly, you're causing your body to actually have such a heavy load of LDL, but your system is having a hard time clearing it from your system. And anything you take, even MCT oil, where they claim that it actually does not break your fast, no, it does break your fast. It will actually affect the clearance level. So, and based on that, your last meal of the day, like my last meal of the day is 2 p.m. So from 2 p.m. till 8 o'clock, 8 or 9, I sleep. So you have almost about a good 7 hours of extra LDL clearance. Would benfotiamine help out the NEC? The benfotiamine, the vitamin B complex will actually help in general. Usually, I always gonna recommend the vitamin B complex. Make sure it's methylated. But yeah, 100%. You can do that. The benfotiamine is gonna be a fat soluble, so it's probably best to take it with food. And I like to take NAC on an empty stomach. So you can actually take vitamin B1 or you can take a vitamin B complex. Usually, whenever, let's say, you have issues with your lungs or congestion or anything like that, what I do is myself, I do B complex, heavy NAC, like I'm talking 2400 milligrams every 4 hours of NAC, and I do 3 days on, 2 days off. And the 2 days off, I see how I feel. If I feel great, then I stop it. If I don't, I repeat the cycle. So I go 2400 milligrams every 4 hours. I do magnesium 200 milligrams every 4 hours. I do the elderberry if I have to, and the B complex, because you need the cofactors to actually support the methylation correctly. Thank you. The fasting answer: can earplugs hurt your sinuses? I use them too much, I think, and my life scenes, I'm light sleeper. They will cause pressure. I'll have to look into to see if actually they hurt your sinuses or not. It's all good to take shot of apple cider vinegar and cinnamon before anything. Apple cider vinegar is going to actually enhance your pH level. Cinnamon, I'm not a huge thing on cinnamon, but it is good to actually maintain good blood sugar. But apple cider vinegar does that. The problem is with cinnamon, it does have a slight estrogenic effect, but if you're probably taking like small minuscule amount, it's not going to actually cause an issue, and it's not going to actually bump you out of fasting unless you're taking a bigger shot than a tablespoon. I say a teaspoon is good, will maintain you in fasting, but bigger than that, then it's gonna actually cause caloric. So one of the best thing to do with the apple cider vinegar is actually mix it in a electrolyte water. So have your water, your sea salt, your potassium chloride, and apple cider vinegar. So this way you're not taking it all at one shot, you're just taking it slowly. I started BPC 157 and TB 500 for thoracic hernia discs. Any thoughts on this stuff cause tumors? No, it's not going to cause any tumors at all. Unless you have an existing issue, then it's a different story. Now, BPC 157, you take it twice a day. TB 500, should take it once every 3 days. You do the cycle for about 6 to 8 weeks. You get off for 2 weeks, see how you feel. You can actually repeat that cycle. That's how I do it. So the BPC 157, you take about 250 micrograms, one in the morning, one in the evening. TB 500, you take 2,500 micrograms every 3 days, unless you bought them as a combination. They have nothing to do with cancer or tumors or anything unless you have a pre-existing condition. If you have a pre-existing condition, then it's a different story. If you don't, you're good. Regal, how are you? Delia, thank you. Sounds good. I'll go make my electrolyte drink. I don't know if I showed you guys last time, but I'll do it again right now because I got a mix for the day. I usually drink about 2 bottles of it. I think I had too much coffee already. Let's see here. So there's my water bottle. I don't know if you guys can see it. We got a glass. So this is what I'll do. So I put 1/4 teaspoon of Himalayan salt. We got some magnesium sulfate and magnesium chloride as well, about a 1/2 teaspoon, give or take. We got magnesium, we got potassium chloride, 1/4 teaspoon. That gives you about 400 milligrams of potassium chloride. We got another sea salt. So this is Vancouver sea salt. It's actually a pretty clean form. Another 1/4 teaspoon. What else we got? You got your apple cider vinegar if you want. Usually about a half a tablespoon or so. That's it. And we got the Aussie Trace minerals as well. Usually about 20 drops or so. You got all your electrolytes. You got your magnesium. You got your potassium. You got more minerals. The only reason I do different type of mixture, just so you can get a full broad of mineralization. And of course we got I don't usually mix this much because the Dead Sea salt. So this is actually for bathing stuff, but I actually mix it in my drink as well. But I don't do it every day, every other day, because it's pretty strong. And if you actually overdo it, you might get a slight headache. So that's it. That's the whole mix, and just gonna fill up the whole bottle. This is for 500 ml. You can actually split it into 1 liter instead. So once I put the filtered water in it, let it sit for at least a good 5 minutes in the sun. So it actually it mixes really good and it becomes more of a structured. Some people can actually mix it in in a copper vessel as well too. You can do that way. Now keep in mind, the water has to sit in a copper for at least 4 to 6 hours before it actually gives you enough copper amounts. No taurine. I don't mix taurine in any electrolyte drink. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I usually take it on its own. Usually I take about 3 grams in the morning, 3 grams at night. That's for therapeutic usage. If you want to use it just for, let's say, overall health, you can go almost 1.5 grams by about 1.5 grams. Empty stomach would be best. I bought BPC 157 TB 500 in a combo, 100 micrograms of and 250 of TB500. Been using 3 times per day. So that's cool. Thanks, Maurice. Are you doing the injection or are you doing the capsule? Hey, Gozan, how are you? Good morning. If you're doing the capsule, I haven't really tested the capsule myself, the oral intake. Oh, nasal. Okay, that's pretty interesting. I haven't seen that one yet. Because I know some of my patients are doing the oral intake. I don't know how well it works. I haven't tested it. I've done the injection in the stomach. And I just, after you've been doing it for, 12, 16 weeks, after like 2 cycles, I kind of don't like it anymore because the spot in your stomach's like you're almost running out of spots because it becomes so sensitive. So it's almost like you have to take that 2 weeks off so you can actually let it settle and let it heal a bit. But yeah, let me know how's the nasal working. If it's working good for you, I wouldn't mind trying it. Because the only reason I did it because I did damage my I torn my left bicep, and I torn my left bicep about 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and I lost 25% of that tear. So that's why I was doing the BPC 157 TB 500. I got full strength back. Of course, you're not gonna heal it once it's torn. It's torn. I got full strength back, but right now because I've been building again, I just started building for my container. So I got the that's all I've been doing for the past week and a half. I got that pain coming back again, so I might have to do another cycle. Motocross and bodybuilding. Oh, nice. Yeah, let me know. Let me know how it works. I have torn bicep as well. Yeah, I got it damaged lifting logs. Carrying the trees, lifting the logs from one end to another. Finally, I went down. I was exhausted. I went down to lift. I overstretched and it just ripped it. And it was just so painful. I was in pain for like almost a good 6 months. Went to the doctor. He's like, well, the only thing we can do is we cut all the tendons of your bicep. So the rest of it was like 75%, and they drill a hole in the bone and they put a button and they actually hold all the tendons. But he's like, there's 1% of the surgery that you might lose sensation in your fingers. So I never got it done. So instead, I just went and did the peptides. I feel good. Like it's been about 2 years now, 2.5 years. But the problem is when I lift heavy again, the pain sometimes comes back, and my elbow more than anything for some reason. And it's almost like I have to rest it, or I have to do another, cycle of the peptides for it to help. Or I have to do like drop the heavy weights and actually go into like resistant bands and stuff. Spartan. Yeah, no kidding. Sometimes we have to. It's like, you're the only one around here. You have to do everything, right? Well, you know how it is living on an off-grid location or in the land. It's like every day there's something. Like today I have to do the water and all that. Yeah, it does hurt. But what can you do? Would you do the surgery? And the thing is, when you do the surgery, you have to kind of keep your arm attached for almost like 4 weeks. If you do any type of movement, you can actually rip it again. So it has to actually heal very slowly. You can't lift anything. And the problem is living off here, off grid, and not doing anything. Well, you can't. You can't, right? So I never really did the surgery. Um, and whatever. I've heard a lot of people when they get the surgery done, it actually happens multiple times again, so it doesn't really heal. I had rotator cuff surgery at the beginning of the year and physical therapy, tore it all. Still lifting weights, Spartan. You have to. You got to. You can't stop, right? You gotta keep going. That's the problem. Like these surgeries are not really 100% successful. They will always get damaged again. So I think, sometimes we just say, you live with it and you just move on. And it's not because of lifting heavy. The problem is, you know, one of the problem is, back in the days, a lot of people, like still bodybuilders right now, their coach will keep pushing you, pushing you, pushing you so you can lift more, lift heavier. no pain, no gain. That's all nonsense, all bullshit. Because eventually, what happens is you're putting so much stress on your uh, on your nerves. You're putting so much stress on your ligaments and everything that you never really give it time to actually recover. And eventually, all that wear and tear is just going to catch up with you. Because as a human being, we're not meant to actually do multiple repetition. You do something heavy, maybe three reps, 4 reps, and that's it. And yet, we used to actually, back in the day, if we're doing chest, we're doing like 10, 12 reps, 4 sets. We're just overtraining, overworking. We never give our body time to actually heal and rest. And recovery is super, super important. Super important. Thanks, brother. Lightweights now, but lots of reps. I wouldn't do a lot of reps, seriously. I know you're doing lightweight and reps. I don't. I do the lightweight small reps. I do that probably like twice a week, just for like recovery purposes. But all the other day now I'm back lifting heavy, where I do 3, 4 reps, heavy load, and that's it. But make sure you're doing like good warm up before. So uh, technically, heavy compound combination training to maintain muscle mass, because if you're doing very, very small reps, you're just causing even more wear and tear on your joints and everything. So you might do that as a recovery. So let's say I work out about 4 days a week. So I go almost like 2 to 3 days heavy and sometimes 1 or 2 days light. And I kind of cycle it. That's the only way I can maintain my shape. Because if I don't do that and I do it super light, you don't maintain your muscle mass. You'll actually go into a catabolic effect. So you don't want to end up hitting that catabolic effect either. But again, it depends on your situation. My situation, I can lift heavy, heavy, heavy. And once I kind of start to feel the pain, that's when I actually take the time to relax my muscle. But it's all about, like, and stick. I try to kind of stick with more compound training. So we got lats, body pull. We got deadlifts. We got squats. You got chest. These are your most important. All the other ones, the small muscle groups like tricep, biceps, all these little things, I don't really train them much. I kind of keep it like no more than about once a week, just so I don't cause more wear and tear. It's all so when I'm talking about heavy weight, one of the biggest problem is we all try to kind of lift as heavy as possible. Make sure you're lifting at least 85% of your capacity. Never lift like your full 1 rep session thing. So 85% where you can still do 3, 4 reps with a proper motion, not like you're yanking your back or you're using belt or you're using anything. Just make sure it's nice and clean rep, and make sure your body, so take your time while you're doing it, like have your feet set on the ground correctly, your back, let's say if you're doing deadlift, your back is set nicely, and do it to a point where you feel good. But make sure you're doing some type of warm-up before, so you can get your blood flowing. And one of the best thing to do is run around the land, just one cycle of, let's say, 1 minute, just a slight small jog with your dog. That's what I do with Duke. Get your heart rate going, get your energy going. But living off grid, you already keep that all day long, right? And when you lift heavy, clean, and that's it. And rest for about 3 minutes between, let's say, every set. And usually that's how I've been doing it, just to maintain my muscle mass. Because if you don't, you're gonna end up burning more than you're actually maintaining. Used to bench 315, that was awesome, but it was 7 years ago. I'll run the goals. Try it out, and kind of maintain it, but don't overdo it, because it's all about recovery and it's all about your HRV. If your HRV is struggling at night, well, when you wake up the next day, if you do check your HRV, based on that, you have to actually work out. If your HRV is good, you push your body. If your HRV is not good, that means it's time to recover. Do like light workout. Don't overdo it. So the HRV plays a huge role in this. Grounding, all the usual stuff that the body requires to thrive. But there's few things we have to kind of keep an eye on. So right now, when I woke up this morning, my HRV, is different than anyone else. Mine is in the upper 40s. I know a lot of people say, well, oh, that's pretty bad. Not really, because I've had a lot of incidents over the years. My HRV used to be in 20s and 30s. It took me almost a while to bring it up. Now I'm in the upper 45 to fluctuate between 45 and 85. and I'm building upon that because I am creating a new mitochondria. It's all about creating a new mitochondria, and one of the best thing to do with new mitochondria, you got cold plunges, you got grounding, you got breathing, you got heavy compound training. You can take supplements such as Bio PQQ to generate new mitochondria with NAD plus. 55 is just a freaking number, man. You're still young. You're still young and active. 55 is just a number. 55, you should feel like you're in your 20s, living off grid. Getting some weird heart arrhythmia on carnivore and dehydration symptom, consuming around 2 teaspoons of salt all day and drinking around 4 liters of water today, but it won't go away. Yeah, that's a magnesium deficiency, Freddy's. You're actually overstimulating your kidneys. You're flushing out all your organic and non-organic material because you're actually drinking 4 liters of water. That 4 liters of water does not contain anything other than water. There's no salt, there's no mineralization or anything. So that's what you're causing. 2 teaspoons of salt, we're talking probably 2 teaspoons of like Himalayan or Celtic or sea salt, not 2 teaspoons of like regular white poison salt, correct? And the second thing is, in a carnivore diet, we overuse magnesium and we don't get enough. So the only reason you're getting that arrhythmia or AFib or atrial fibrillation, for example, anything like that on a carnivore, is because you're becoming more magnesium deficient. And eating protein, high protein, requires more magnesium. I did a video in regards to that. So probably you're not taking enough magnesium. And when you take magnesium, you don't take it just once a day. We need a constant supply of magnesium because magnesium has a half-life of 4 hours in the body. So you have to take it every 4 hours. And that's the best way to do it. And you will actually fix it. And I would actually, if anything, I would check your RBC magnesium, red blood cells magnesium. You have to be on a carnivore diet at least 6 milligrams per deciliter or higher. If you're below that, that's the sign of the arrhythmia. Yeah, red mint, real salt. I'm drinking the water because I'm actually thirsty, which makes sense because I'm eating more protein. So make sure you're mixing your salt. So I just did an electrolyte drink. So one of the best way to do it is, so get your water and put 1/4 teaspoon of red mint, 1/4 teaspoon of Celtic salt, put 1/4 teaspoon of potassium chloride, put some type of magnesium sulfate in there, and have that all in your water of 32 ounces or 1 liter. And just every time you're thirsty, drink that, because if you're just drinking water by itself, you're flushing out more mineralization. You're more thirsty because you're not hydrating your body. You're causing dehydration. So you need to actually mix that in your water. And I'm not sure how much fats you're eating with your protein, whether you're overdoing it or underdoing it. Because if you're underdoing it as well, you're eating more protein than you should, and you're not actually feeling satiated or satisfied. So I eat about 2 pounds of meat every day, and I eat about 4 eggs and roughly about 6 to 12 ounces of liver. That's usually how I do it. Either I do it all in one meal or I do it all in 2 meals, but I keep it all in a 4-hour period. And the rest of the day, I'm drinking electrolytes and magnesium to actually be able to utilize the protein correctly. Now, if you end up having your protein, and let's say 2-3 hours, Freddy, you end up feeling gases, that means your pancreas is not producing enough enzymes and your pH is not strong enough to break down that protein quality. Gray salt is the bomb, 100%. If you can get a gray salt, I know we can get them here in Canada, which is very, very good. The company is not that clean because I bought some last time, and the gray salt that I get, there was actually like dead animals, like sea animals in it. It's just kind of weird because I put it in the water and all the stuff start to float, which is pretty interesting. So sometimes I use that. So I have about 4 different types of salts that I use. Yeah, let me know how it goes, Freddy. But in the meantime, if you're worried about the arrhythmia, it's nothing to worry about. It is 100% fixable. A lot of people, 80% of the population, have arrhythmia and they don't even know it. At least you're tuned in with your body, especially becoming, full carnivore. You're going to be tuned in with your body. Anything type of sensitivity, any type of issues, you're going to notice it right away. But magnesium is going to be your best friend. And I'm not talking magnesium glycinate. Magnesium glycinate is going to be more of a relaxation. I wouldn't take it during the daytime unless you really want to relax. I would go like magnesium malate because that actually boosts your mitochondria. Or I would go magnesium chloride during the daytime. Then I would go magnesium glycinate at night, or even magnesium althreonate at night, because that will actually crosses the blood-brain barrier and actually satisfy your magnesium needs much faster. Now, keep in mind, if you are on a carnivore diet, but you're still introducing some fruits, the fruits will actually fight for the uptake against magnesium. So keep that in mind as well, too. So be careful if you're doing that. Keep the percentage very low, like maybe 1 or 2%. The rest of it should be like protein and fat. And see if you can get the natural fats instead of I know a lot of individuals, sometimes they add butter, they add ghee. Just keep it natural. Whatever you get from that meat, you got the enough fat from that meat, or you got bone marrow. That's going to be like your ideal scenario. You're so right about being more in tune with my body. Sometimes it causes me anxiety because anything that happens to my body, I too aware of it. Oh yeah, it's crazy how it is, but that's the beauty about it. The moment you start to eat clean and you're eating the right foods, first of all, you're probably gonna notice your poop changes, which is pretty awesome. The second thing is you're so tuned in with your body that certain things you might eat, if you get a reaction, you know for a fact it's not good for you, or there's some kind of histamine issue, or there's something that the source is not clean. You eat protein, you feel amazing. You eat fat, you feel amazing. Anything else you eat, you're gonna feel off a bit. But kind of monitor these things. These are just signs and clues of what's happening. I know it becomes more of a stressful scenario. It's like, what the hell did I just do? But it's almost like becomes like a superpower, right? It's like anything you do, you'll know for a fact if it's actually helping or causing more issues. And that's the cool thing about it. So keep in mind, I've been doing it for 11 years myself. I will never change at all. Off grid living, wife is making Rittery yogurt. Oh, nice. With goat milk, awesome for the gut, and so much more. Oh, I would love to get some. I hope, hey, Rooster, I hope this year for me it goes well, because I'm going to try it out in the winter time to see how it is off grid here. Because usually I leave for 2 months, go back to the city, but this year I'm going to actually wait it out because I got enough wood. Look at that. I got 2 cords. I don't know if it's enough or not, but we got 2 cords, and I got some more here. And I'm actually building that section behind me, so I got all that wood up. So if everything goes good, I'm gonna get some goats so I can do some fermented yogurt. That's my favorite. I haven't had yogurt for almost like 4 years. I was making my own. I'd buy it from a local person. He would sell me like raw goat milk, but this year he actually, 2 years ago, he actually shut down his farm and he moved away, which is too bad. So yeah, this is what I got going for the last couple of days. So I cleaned up that whole section. I actually drilled everything and all these brackets into the container, and I got these 3 posts up and going. These are all 6x6s. I actually burnt them a bit. So I'm waiting for this to actually dry up, and I'm gonna get started on that roofing. So this is gonna be all for the firewood and more firewood I've been carrying, and of course for my machines to be put outside up here. It'll be a nice little garage, and I'm gonna actually have my little, I'm gonna buy a squat rack so I can still do my squats here. So I'll be good. It's coming along nicely. Just a lot of work sometimes. And today is Sunday, is like my relaxation day, but I have to do my water. Gotta fix the water so I get it ready for the winter. Oh yeah, and I got my Chinese excavator. I got it like 3 days ago. And that's how I actually dug the holes. I used to do it by hand, and every hole would take me probably like 3 hours, 4 hours to actually do. And it was brutal. Like, it would actually take me like a week to do 3 holes, and they wouldn't be near no more than 1.5 to 2 feet deep because it's so freaking rocky. So I got this Chinese small excavator, 1 ton. So check it out, not bad. Good price actually. I didn't think it would actually make it. They just, here in Canada, they freaking robbed me when it came down to the customs, because this whole thing was like 25, it came up to about 25, about 3,200, $3,200. But when it came across the border, they actually charged me 2 times. So it came up from 32, another 32. So it came up to like almost 6,500 by the time I had to clear customs. That's how much Canada customs ripped me off. It's crazy. But yeah, this is it. It's like a 1 ton. And that's how I dug the holes with. It took me like 5 minutes to do like all 3 holes, which is amazing. I subscribe. Thanks for going live. Yeah, no worries, Freddie. Anytime. And if you have more questions about carnivore, I've done a lot of videos, and I did one video recently, I think like 2 weeks ago, in regards to the magnesium. Very, very important. Not bad. That will help to get established. I just finished my water line. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, you sent me that picture. I saw that. That looks really good, actually. Yeah, I can do so many things done with it now. Like, I don't have to worry. It'll make things so much easier, which is really, really nice. So I just used it for the 3 holes, and it took me like, seriously, like it didn't really, every hole took me like probably like 5 minutes to dig like almost 3.5 foot in depth, which is incredible. It's like, you know, I saved so much time, which is awesome, which is really, really good. Imagine still doing it by hand. Like when I did the tiny house behind me, I had to dig 9 holes. It took me 2.5 weeks to dig 9 holes, and I was just beat after that. How's the chicken? Here, let me show you guys how's the chicken. There's the chickens. I'm still only getting 1 egg. I don't know why the other ones haven't laid yet. So today is Sunday, it's cleaning day. So I have to clean the chicken coop for them. They're inside eating. Let's wait till they come out. There you go. There's another one. There's a big rooster. There's another one coming out. We got 6 chickens. Only this guy here is the only one that's actually laying an egg every day. These guys, they should lay by now. I think they're roughly about 22 weeks old maybe. You have names for that? Really? If I have to put names for them, I gotta actually tag them so I know which one is which. So this is a big one that actually, this is the only one that's actually laying the egg. I get 1 egg every day, and every 3rd day I get double yolks. These guys, they haven't laid yet, even though they're getting there. Unless Duke is just, he scares them off. There you go. And this one should actually lay too. It hasn't laid yet. So maybe this week I can maybe start getting like 6 eggs a day. Let me change my shoe. I'll go inside the chicken coop and see if there's any eggs today. I haven't checked. Usually every time I go in the chicken coop, I have my special clothes to wear, because I don't know, I'm picky. Chickens teriyaki. Yeah, no kidding. If they don't lay, they're gonna be food for me and Duke. So let me put my other shoe, and we'll go see if you have any eggs today. Maybe we'll get more than 1, maybe. I got my special boots to go in there. Duke, can I go in there? Gonna go see if you have any chicken eggs. But does 2 teaspoons of salt a day seem like a lot? Okay, I'll be honest with you, Freddie. I take about 12 to 15 grams of salt, other than the salt I eat. So figure that out. So I can sometimes consume anywhere between 12, sometimes even more. But I mix the salt, right? So I have Redmond, I have Celtic, I got Vancouver sea salt, I got gray salt, I got Deadman's salt. So I mix all 3 so I can get different mineralization. But let's say you only want 1 or 2, so stick with Celtic and Redmond. So you're gonna use probably some salt in your water so you can hydrate your body correctly. But you're gonna actually use as well salt on your food, like especially on your steaks and stuff. Because keep in mind, being on a carnivore, you don't hold much water, and we tend to actually exercise and move a lot more than an average person sometimes. So we tend to burn more because you don't hold any water at all, because you're technically on a low carb diet. Now keep in mind, I don't know how much meat you're eating. Make sure you are hitting a gluconeogenesis every time you eat. If you don't, you're gonna end up experiencing, slight catabolic effect. But it depends how many meals you have a day. So, so for example, when I'm gonna eat one pound of meat right now, I'll probably use a good teaspoon to 2 teaspoons of salt on the meat with the eggs. That's only off one meal, other than the salt that I drink throughout the day. I'm out, brother. Got more tractor work to do. Have a great day and be safe out there. We are on our own. Hit me up if you need anything. Will do, Rooster. Enjoy your day. Thanks so much for stopping by. Hope you guys are doing good and staying healthy. And cheers. Yeah, keep me updated. Let me know how things are going. Let's go see if we have any eggs. Oh yeah, we got one. Only one. That's it. So we got one egg. Not 6. One egg only. That's all we got. I still have to buy freaking eggs. I was hoping by this week all 6 will start to lay, but only one of them is laying. That's a small egg too. Maybe I'm hoping this week they should all start laying. Shit. Let's go put her inside. We'll have that at my first meal. So there's the, you might need more feed or different feed. So I went and bought the layers feed. Well, technically, I don't know how much feed they need, because I have one of these PVC tube that I fill it up, and usually it gets emptied in 3 days. So I don't like to feed them too much feed, but this guy here, so I feed them a lot of greens. I know they need a lot of energy. So I have one that actually has all the oyster shell in it. I have one that actually have black something worms. I bought a big bag. And I have another one that one of the local person here, he actually has a farm and he has his own seeds. So he grows his own seeds. And he imported the seeds from Europe and he grows it here in Canada. So it's not like a nice, clean, organic source. They like meat as well. Okay. I have to feed them meat. I'm trying to keep it cost effective. So maybe that's why they're not, the other ones haven't laid. Only one of them is laying. So meat would be like, say, bugs and worms and stuff like that. So more protein than green vegetables from the yard. I can't let them out from that section. Carnivore cured my asthma that I had for 25 years since I was a kid. I realized I was allergic to foods I was eating. I have a feeling it's the pesticides they spray on foods. Yeah, and asthma is one of the most important, one of the issue with asthma actually. It's not so much that the pesticides, we all know about pesticides and herbicides, all that crap they spray in the air, they spray chemtrails, all that bullshit stuff. But what happened is the heavy usage of citric acid in the food we buy. So for example, if you buy anything fermented or anything in a glass container, anything like that, they all actually have infused it with citric acid, and citric acid is actually made from corn. So they actually allow the corn to mold and they make the citric acid. And what happened is that's the biggest issue that we end up getting allergic, an allergy reaction. Uh, and it's not so much about other things, it's the citric acid. So anything that contains citric acid, make sure you stay away from. And I'm glad you're doing the carnivore diet because it actually cures a lot of the issues we come across through our lifestyle. You know, sometimes if we're taking protein powder, sometimes we're taking, you know, certain supplementation, sometimes certain things are fermented. Always look for the citric acid, and anything that has citric acid, stay away from it. Scraps and bugs. Scraps, I have no scraps here because all I eat is a carnivore diet. I've been growing some pumpkin for them. They're still pretty small. Bugs, I don't know how I'm gonna get bugs from, how to capture them. I bought one of these nets that you put a piece of food and it actually attracts all the bugs. It's been there for 2 days. I got like 20 bugs in there. That's it. I don't get much bugs here because I live in off the grid in a mountain where it's a little bit cooler all the time. Is there a better source of vitamin C, not the GMO corn stuff? Um, the only one you have is you can get vitamin C from what's that powder called? Alma, I think it's called Alma. You get about 300 milligrams or so. I believe that's what it's called, Alma. It has high vitamin C. If you eat, I don't know what kind of diet you're on, because what happens is if you're eating fruits, you get a very small amount and you need such a high amount of vitamin C. But if you're eating carnivore diet and you're eating some of the meat cuts raw like liver, you get enough vitamin C, even though it's only about 100 milligrams. But because it's not fighting against the uptake to the cellular level, your body should actually get plenty enough of it. And what other ones you would have? Most of them are gonna be corn. So if you want to stay away from vitamin C, I would, and I would only include it from that. Like I get my vitamin C from eating raw liver, and I don't need that much vitamin C because I follow a carnivore diet. But if you don't eat anything raw, you cook everything, then you'll have to actually supplement some type of vitamin C, or maybe you can get it from a certain fruit that you enjoy that's not too high and sugary, but make sure it is based on season. It's very tough because a lot of the supplementation companies, they're becoming more like pharmaceuticals, right? You know, they put so much crap, so much fillers in there that actually it defeats the purpose of using supplements. I feel better without synthetic vitamin C. Oh, 100%, 100%. You don't need it. You don't need it unless you have to take it. I would say, you know, an average person will take it because they follow like an okay diet. But once you actually follow like a really, really good, healthy diet, so you have access to, let's say, nice cuts of meat, you have your chicken, you have a lot of the stuff, then you don't need to add anything else in your diet. Are you going to give your chickens thick, dry bedding like the deep litter to ensure adequate insulation during winter? It may be take them a bit longer to adapt to off-grid, like coyotes and bears. I did the whole chicken coop that I have inside is all insulated. Before I got the chicken, when I finished the chicken coop, I did insulate the whole thing, so it's nice and warm in there. And I did put like a nice big window. I just have to clean up the chicken coop today. Today is a cleaning day for them. Can insulin resistance cause diffuse thinning of the hair? Yes. So the hair, like my hair became quite thin because I was doing very high intermittent fasting, which is I shouldn't have. So what happened is sometimes fasting will actually suppress your thyroid, and sometimes insulin resistance suppresses your thyroid. So therefore your thyroid is not functioning correctly. It doesn't mean it causes thinning of the hair. It's indirectly causing more calcifications in the scalp, causing your DHT to go up, causing hair loss. See how everything kind of works? So fixing your insulin resistance would be good. Fixing your thyroid would be excellent to prevent excess calcium calcifications at the scalp. So you can allow the hair follicle to actually breathe and get the proper nutrients it needs. Does that make sense? So if you've noticed, a lot of Asians, they maintain their hair for life. The other thing they do is they drop their head below a specific degree and they actually massage their scalp as well to increase blood flow. I'm missing the outer third of my eyebrows as well. I was told it could be my thyroid. So So whenever we check thyroid, what happens is a lot of individuals, they only check TSH or T4, which is they are irrelevant. You have to check your T3, so you make sure your T4 is converting to T3, and you have to check your reverse T3 to find out whether your reverse T3 is actually holding off about 20% of your thyroid. When is a bone broth fast beneficial? Oh, I drink bone broth. Well, it depends. It depends on your goal. Depends whether you have a specific genetic or not. But you can do bone broth based on the moon cycle. So once a month, you can do like a 72-hour fasting, 96-hour fasting. I was doing it 72 hours every single week, sometimes at 48 hours. That was actually hurting me more than anything. But doing it, once a month, 3 days, or if you want to do like, 5 to 7 days, once every 3 months, that would be ideal. Um, all you're doing is just, activating autophagy. But keep in mind, whenever we activate autophagy, pretty much we shouldn't be drinking no more than electrolytes, because the moment we're drinking bone broth, it still contains protein and fat in it. Even in a small amount, it's still causing specific calories to be activated, and that will actually break you off a real good autophagy fasting, especially if you're looking for autophagy or stem cells production. If you're not, you're just doing it for more of a weight loss, then bone broth is fine. So it all depends on you as a person, what you're trying to accomplish as a goal. There's no such thing as, fasting curing everything. It has to be tightly regulated and tightly used correctly to your benefit, and it depends what you're trying to accomplish. For weight loss, it's not bad. For autophagy, you're not putting yourself in an autophagy level by drinking bone broth. For doing it for FH, like say familial hypercholesterolemia, or you're doing it for LDL receptors or LDL clearance, all that stuff has a different story. Every person is different. So that has to be fully customized as a protocol based on your body. That's why usually whenever I do consultations, I don't just throw in any type of genetic protocol or just follow this. No, every person is designed differently. So never really listen to one specific influencer say, hey, if you drink MCT, it's not gonna break your fast. No, it is gonna break your fast. Or if you take bone broth, it's not gonna break your fast. No, it is gonna break your fast. So it's all based on what you're trying to accomplish. Then you can fine tune everything. Even there's certain supplementation you might take will break your fast, so you have to kind of fine tune it. So that's something to keep in mind. And I hope that kind of answers your question. I'm trying not to kind of make things, too complicated, but there's a specific way for everything, and it's all in regards to your moon cycle, because we should never be the way we eat, the way we sleep, the way we fast, the way we do everything. It should never be by hour, by timing. That's all bullshit. That's all we've been programmed to follow, like a machine. Hey, we need to upgrade this. Hey, we need to do this to actually activate autophagy. We're not a freaking machine. We're a human being, but we have to actually follow the cycles, cycle of the moon, the time of the season, the type of food we consume. Everything has to be cycled correctly based on your circadian. So my circadian is different than yours. I eat my last meal at 2 p.m. Certain people eat their last meal at 6 p.m. or 4 p.m. So it's all based on your circadian level, your HRV, how you sleep, how you wake up feeling recovered, how much nutrients you're taking, and how much protein you're consuming, and how much magnesium. So all these things actually, they relate with each other. I hope that helps. I actually do, if you guys follow me on Substack as well, I write a lot of articles. Some are paid articles, some are free articles, but I write a lot of articles on different detoxification, different fasting, different for every individual, whether you have high cholesterol, low cholesterol, high LDL, whether your body clears correctly, whether you have good pH in your gut or not. So all these things changes per person. There's no such thing as one thing and everybody does it perfectly 100%. It doesn't exist. I hope that kind of gives you guys, some of the answers that we tend to overthink, or we tend to, every time we hear an influencer's talking about it, we just follow it. A lot of these freaking influencers are just there to market products, market bullshit, and they sell you on stuff that they have no clue about how it works. And sometimes the stuff they sell you is just more money for them, and after that they disappear. So, and then you're gonna notice, you're gonna see a lot of live videos, people pushing products, especially on TikTok, Instagram, a lot of social media. But be careful of that, because they're almost becoming like pharmaceuticals, trying to push products and affiliate marketing. So understand your body. Your body is different than mine. My body is different than yours. What works for me might be poison for you, and back and forth. And don't eat food for entertainment. Use food to actually satisfy your needs and build a strong microbiome, so you can actually be able to have an optimal day, an optimal life. Not feeling, with a stomach pain or GI tract issue, or having soft stool, or having headaches. All these things, they're clues, they're telling you something is going on. And you always have to question the food you're consuming. Is it a clean source? Did I overcook it? Did I overuse certain oils, such as, saturated fats, butters, olive oil? Am I supposed to consume that or not? Am I supposed to, fast 48 hours weekly or not? So all these things has to be adjusted based on your body. So you just have to figure that out, and I can guide you guys through all the stuff. So if you guys don't have any more questions, I know I've been here for 1 hour. I think that's plenty for Sunday, because I have a lot of work to do. Today is it's gonna be a nice sunny day for me to finish everything. So in the meantime, you guys have an amazing Sunday, and definitely stay active as much as possible. And if I do miss any questions, definitely post them under the comments. More than happy to respond. You guys take care. Yeah, we'll end it off with Duke. Duke, you ready? Hey, Sandra, you two have an awesome Sunday, and we'll touch base. You ready to go play? Yeah, you want to go play? Okay. Let's say bye to everybody. Cheers.